So with the new Harry Potter TV series, let's talk about the casting a black actor as a Severus Snape. Let's get one thing clear immediately, this video is not about the actor, it's about what happens to the story when you make a creative choice, so creative, to change a character this fundamental without adjusting the world around it.
I may vomit.
Because when you actually follow the plot logically, things get messy very quickly. In Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone, the story depends on misdirection. Harry suspects Snape, but the key is Snape is suspicious because of his behavior, not identity. Now imagine this dynamic change visually in a very obvious way. Harry walks into Hogwarts. There's one professor who stands out immediately.
Say, Percy, who's that teacher talking to Professor Quirrell?
Oh, that's Professor Snape.
And when the story pushes the idea someone is trying to steal the stone, Harry jumps to that same professor. I suspect that black one.
It was Snape. Whatever Fluffy's guarding, Snape's trying to steal it. You? Snape, he was the...
Yes, it does seem the type, doesn't it?
During the Quidditch match, Snape tried to kill me.
Now that risks feeling less like deduction and more like an immediate visual bias that completely changes the tone of the mystery. A core part of Snape's character is he never gets the defense against the dark arts job, he's stuck teaching potions, he's bitter about it for years.
What's he teach?
Potions. But everyone knows it's the dark arts he fancies. He's been after Quirrell's job for years.
Originally this reads as personal resentment, distrust, Dumbledore's caution, but if you change the context visually without rewriting the world, people are going to ask, wait, why is the black one the only one being passed over? The story now invites interpretation that were never part of an original narrative, not because the story says it, but because the change introduces new implication that script doesn't address. And this is the biggest one. We know from canon James Potter humiliates Snape publicly. He lifts him in the air, exposes him, does it in front of the other students. Originally the scene establishes James is arrogant, Snape is bullied, the Marauders aren't as heroic as Harry thinks, but visually reframed this becomes something much heavier. Now that scene risks being interpreted through completely different lenses, not just bullying, but something that looks far more charged, wherever the story intends it or not.
Your father was a swine.
My father was a great man.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
It creates a disconnect between what's shown and what's acknowledged. Snape's entire emotional arc is built around Lily Potter. Childhood friend, unrequited love, lifelong regret. Originally this is tragic because ideology, dark magic versus morality, choices, personality. But again, if you change the context visually without rewriting the narrative, the relationship starts to carry extra layer the script never addressed. And that risk overshadowing the original theme. Snape didn't lose Lily because of who he was, he lost her because of what he chose. That distinction is crucial. And she goes to marry that one who bullied him. In Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban, Neville's greatest fear is Snape. It's played partially for humor, a strict, intimidating teacher. Now ask yourself, does that scene play the same way visually? Or does it suddenly carry completely different tone? Because again, the original story treats this as a character-based fear, but visual changes can unintentionally shift how that scene is perceived. Interesting that both of them could be part of that prophecy has a problem with only one black professor. And this is the key issue. Harry Potter is very tightly constructed story. Character relationships, motivations and themes are interconnected. When you make a major change like this, you have two options. Fully rewrite the world to support it or keep the original story intact. If you try to do both, you get contradiction because the story starts created implication it never resolved. Again, this isn't about actor, this is about adaptation. I look nothing like Snape, and if they would offer me a 10-year job with a good pay, I'm gonna do it. But changing a character like Snape without adjusting the narrative around him doesn't just change visuals, it changes how we perceive that scenes, how characters are perceived and how the story reads emotionally. And if that shown doesn't account for that, then instead of strengthening the story, it risks breaking it. You can change a character, but if you don't change the story with it, the story changes anyway, just not in a way you intended.